This year, the 2025 Ram 1500 is completely modified. There's even a new high-end trim level called Tungsten, which is about luxurious as a pickup can get. The 2025 Ram 1500 lineup gains significant power and performance thanks to the potent 6-cylinder turbocharged engine. The removal of the V8 from the 1500 range has had no effect on the truck's performance. The straight 6-turbo engine has two powerful variations. At our test track, a Ram 1500 with the standard output engine accelerated from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.2 seconds. With the high-output variant, that time is reduced to 4.7 seconds, putting it well ahead of rival full-size trucks. The Ram 1500's steering is weak and lacks road feel. We still liked how driving the truck felt predictable. It bears its large weight nicely and doesn't feel sloppy when turning corners. It drives with a sense of closeness that many other full-size trucks lack. These straight 6 turbos are incredibly powerful. We tested both at our track. A tradesman with the standard output engine completed the 0 to 60 miles per hour run in 5.2 seconds, while a Tungsten with the high output version did it in 4.7 seconds. We also towed a large Airstream trailer with the Tungsten, and it did not feel like we were pulling anything. These produce very wonderful results. The Ram's brake pedal is a tad soft, and the 135-foot stopping distance at 60 to 0 miles per hour is a little feet greater than the values for the other full-size vehicles. We prefer a little more grabbiness at the top of the pedal stroke in these large trucks, which boosts confidence in the vehicle's stopping ability. Under emergency braking, it remains pretty stable, but we noticed some little brake fade during the 5 stops we made. The steering feel is mild, and there isn't much input, which is normal for the class. The truck responds slowly to steering input, but we like how it quickens off-center and is predictable on-center. It's simple to keep the Ram tracking straight. This could be a result of the rear suspension making the truck feel more cohesively driven. The Ram's stability control isn't overwhelming, allowing you to approach the boundaries with greater confidence than other trucks. The gearbox is well suited to the engine, and the throttle mapping allows you to drive it smoothly and easily. Downshifts are fast and predictable. The engine's low-end torque output, both standard and high output, is exceptional. The Ram 1500's ride quality has long been distinguished by the use of coil springs in the rear suspension rather than typical leaf springs. It has the finest ride among all full-size pickups, and none of its competitors come close. Furthermore, the seats are of high quality and provide good support and comfort for people of all sizes. Wind and tire noise are likewise well contained, adding to the cabin's sense of tranquility provided by the suspension. The Tungsten seats are to die for. They provide 24-way power adjustment, some of which are awkwardly disguised in screen menus, resulting in a seat that will accommodate a wide range of heights and body shapes. The back bench is also pretty comfy for a truck, with an excellent amount of recline built in to help you sit more comfortably. You could drive this truck for hours and hours in complete luxury. Massage is optional. This is where the Ram truly stands out from the competition. The ride quality is exceptional because to the independent rear suspension. It feels calmer and less restless in the back, especially without a payload, than anything else out there, even the Tundra, which has a similar configuration. When you're driving the Ram, road seams and bumps almost disappear. The fans are powerful enough, and the cabin cools very quickly. Physical controls for the majority of the climate functions on the edges of the infotainment screen are also useful. The rear vents function fairly well. Wind and tire noise are well contained, and the cabin is relatively quiet. There are some gruff engine noises when you go deeper into the throttle, and while they aren't as fantastic as the V8's growl, they sound rather nice for a six-cylinder. We didn't notice any unusual vibrations during our few days of testing and towing. The crew cab Ram 1500 has lots of space for both front and back seat passengers, with enough of head and legroom in each row. There's a noticeable difference in interior quality between the top trims and the more workmanlike interiors of the lesser trims, but at the top, you'll find a degree of cabin refinement and luxury that no other full-size pickup can equal. Finding a comfortable driving position is simple thanks to a wide range of adjustability for both the seat and the steering wheel. The offered completely digital cluster is highly customizable and displays information clearly and legibly at a glance. Large windows all around improve visibility, however viewing shorter items around the vehicle is difficult due to its high sides. The Ram features a large touchscreen, but even technophobes will find the system simple to use. The vertically orientated screen features a number of helpful quick-action buttons, including camera views. It helps that the Ram has dedicated physical climate settings, and the USB ports are conveniently located just above the wireless charger. Our Tungsten test vehicle featured power running boards to help you get in, otherwise, the step-in is fairly high. A stripped-down tradesman we also examined proved more difficult to get into and lacked air suspension, which can lower the car for easier access. Our Tungsten test vehicle included the optional 14.5-inch vertically orientated touchscreen, as well as a passenger entertainment screen with a filter to prevent distraction to the driver. Despite the huge screen, the software that powers it appears to be out of date and has a complicated menu layout. During our testing, we discovered that it could be slow to respond to inputs. This is especially bothersome because various car amenities, such as seat adjustment or seat heating/ventilation, can only be accessed through the screen. Ram's current 1500 model marks the introduction of a hands-free driving aid system. It performed well in our testing and rarely required the driver to reposition his hands on the steering wheel. The additional driver aids also aid in keeping the truck in its lane and smoothly accelerating and braking. The Ram supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The Tungsten boasts 6 USB ports up front and dual wireless charging pads, allowing you to charge 2 phones at once. That's all wonderful, as is the sheer size of the CarPlay display, which occupies almost 2/3 of the screen. But Android Auto packs a lot into a tiny 1/3 of the screen and looks horrible. It has a customizable central region of the screen with a few widgets to select from, but none of them are particularly useful. The cabin's large size is complemented by its ample storage space. A huge storage bin sits between the front seats, on models without a bench, with a floating center part that houses the cup holders. This island can be moved forward or back to add more storage for larger goods as needed, and when slid back, there is enough capacity for a large bag or purse. The back seat folds out to reveal a small cargo area, however it is not lockable, thus storage cannot be safeguarded. And the floor isn't flat like in some other trucks. The maximum cargo capacity is 2,300 pounds, while the maximum towing capacity is 11,580 pounds. This is less than the Ford F-150's capability, but the Ram 1500 offers a lot of usefulness. The powertrains are more than capable of towing, with enough power to easily drive even huge trailers. We did observe that the truck's rear felt slightly less planted than other trucks with typical leaf spring suspension. Fuel economy varies depending on powertrain. The base engine with rear-wheel drive is the most fuel-efficient version, achieving an EPA estimated 23 miles per gallon combined. For 4WD variants of the truck with straight 6 turbos, the standard output engine is predicted to get 19 miles per gallon combined, while the high-output engine gets 17 miles per gallon combined. These stats are adequate, but the F-150 with its hybrid powertrain and the Silverado 1500 with its optional diesel engine get greater mileage. We tried a 1500 Tungsten with the high-output engine. On our test route, it earned 19 miles per gallon, indicating that the EPA's estimations are correct.